Well, welcome once again to qualifier number 11 of Notebook Ignite. Before we start with the day's proceedings, I must thank our knowledge partners at IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, without whose help and support we could not have put this together. So thank you so much. We also must thank our gold sponsors BSNL, our associate sponsors, the Webel Fujisoft Vara Center of Excellence and Lokdun, and our prize sponsor, the SKC LNCT Group of Colleges from Madhya Pradesh. Today's qualifier has three schools: the Greenland Public School from Lucknow, the Gyan Shri School from Noida, and the Wisdom Global School from Haridwar. Before we move on, we would love to get to know our participants better. So to all the participating students, if you could please switch on your cameras. So Greenland Public School, we would love to get to know your team first, in whichever order you want.
Good evening, everyone. I am Praizi Shadin Verghese from Greenland Public School, Lucknow, and I am a class 11 student and I have taken PCM with entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aryan from Greenland Public School, Lucknow, and I'm a science student.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Adarsh Trivedi from Greenland Public School, Lucknow. I have opted the science stream and I have took PCM with Hindi.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sanidhya Chaturvedi and I'm a science student with entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mahima Gwan from Greenland Public School, class 11th, commerce student. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, the team from Greenland Public School. Just a quick check. You said PCM with entrepreneurship. So that's like a subject, an elective that
Yes, sir, an optional subject. We have options in entrepreneurship, Hindi, and some other. So I have taken entrepreneurship.
Wow, wonderful. Great. Going across to Gyan Shri School from Noida.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Saitya Kumawat and I'm currently in my 12th grade. In commerce stream, my hobbies include reading, digital art, and photography.
Good evening. My name is Keshav Gupta. I'm in grade 11th and I have taken commerce stream.
I'm Gaurav Gautam of grade 12 from Gyan Shri School. Besides being a martial artist, I like reading, designing, and studying.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adya Shri. I am in Gyan Shri School, Noida, and I'm in the 11th grade, and I have opted for mixed stream. Thank you.
I think you have another teammate, right? Nitya, who's I can see has just joined in. We'll just wait for a couple of seconds to make sure that Nitya can connect and can introduce herself as well. Hi, Nitya. Welcome to the show. If you could have you introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Nitya Tiwari, grade 12 student from Gyan Shri School. Apart from being an avid reader, my hobbies include reading, writing, doodling, and painting. Thank you.
Wonderful. So that's the team from Gyan Shri School, Noida, getting across to Wisdom Global School from Haridwar. Would the participants please introduce themselves?
Hi everyone, my name is Vishi Sachdeva and I'm from the Wisdom Global School from Haridwar. I'm a commerce student who has taken math and aim to achieve chartered accountancy.
Good evening, sir. My name is Riti Pant. I am from the Wisdom Global School, Haridwar.
Good evening to one and all. This is Akriti Gupta, student of 12th Commerce, the Wisdom Global School. Thank you.
Riti, can you speak once more? There was a lag on your audio. We want to make sure that your connection is fine.
Good evening, sir. My name is Riti Pant from Wisdom Global School. I am a commerce student.
Great. I think we're all set. Those are the three teams that will be competing today. Three wonderful schools who are going to be presenting their ideas in front of our wonderful, wonderful judges. Our sincere gratitude to the IIM Calcutta Innovation Park for arranging for such eminent judges to judge these young entrepreneurs. We have with us today Mr. Pratik Sharma, who was born in a farmer family in Madhya Pradesh. After an MBA from Pune, he worked for more than 10 years in a leading bank in India in positions like area sales manager, product manager, and others. In 2016, he quit his job and started growing vegetables in the poly house, but faced some problems. He launched the startup Green and Grains for. Excessive use of chemicals, he believes, has made the food poisonous and less nutritive. His startup is making organic food available and affordable. Green and Grains is incubated under the Invent program of Government of India at the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. It encourages other farmers to take up organic farming and through the startup, deliver these products directly to consumers. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for being here, sir. Welcome back to the show. We hope to startle you once again with some wonderful ideas. We also have with us, you're welcome, sir. We also have with us Mr. Srikant Prabhu, who's the head of go-to-market and partnerships at Capita. Capita is a Singapore headquartered digital equity management platform for private companies, particularly startups. Its software, CapMap, is designed to enable capitalization table management, employee stock ownership plans, ESOP management, and digital ESOP issuance with the aim of eventually enabling digital share issuance for companies across South and Southeast Asia. Mr. Prabhu himself is an alumnus of IIM Bangalore, Cornell University, and the National Institute of Technology, Karnataka. Mr. Prabhu, thank you so much and welcome back. We had you here yesterday. I believe you saw some wonderful presentations. Let's see if the students can go one up.
Definitely, Subhaju. Thank you. Thank you for having me again and look forward to the presentations.
Great. So it is now my turn to tell you a little bit about Notebook. We at Notebook are an EdTech organization. We make short videos that pertain to your school curriculum and help you make your life easier. Here's one way in which we try and do that. So that's what we do. We try and ensure that you don't have to run across fields to get to your classes in time, because you can study right from the comfort of your homes. Well, now time for the job at hand. It is my duty to call upon the first team here today. Greenland Public School, students, could you please put on your cameras? Good. Could you also let me know who would be presenting?
Sir Aryan and I will be presenting.
Great. If you can share your screen, I can quickly check that we can see things fine.
Sure, sir.
All right, Aryan, we can see your screen. You let me know when you are ready to start presenting so that I can start the timer.
So I will be presenting. So am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Sir, I'm ready to present.
Great. All the best. And if you're ready, your time for 7 minutes starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Faizi Sharon Varghese from Greenland Public School, Lucknow, and I'm the co-founder of The Ad Company, the only advertisement agency that provides target-specific print advertisement at a price that is 70% lower than the market price. And today, I'll be proposing my idea in front of you all. Last year, my friends and I came up with a startup. But after some months of hard work, we got demotivated as we didn't get enough reach because the advertisement is expensive. We stood firm and a failure led to this idea of The Ad Company, which is going to change the entire face of print advertisement in India, and this will help small startups and businesses to grow. Now, let's have a look at our key features. We provide reach to a large customer base, and that too at the least cost possible. And we are first to introduce target-specific advertisement in print ads. We even have one of the largest advertisement networks. So, for advertising, we use the Milkman network. Yes, India is the largest producer of milk in the world, and there are more than 75 million dairies in India. Every year, more than 350 million tons of milk is produced here. As we know, milkman network is enormous as milkmen reach to every colony and locality of India. As they go to the same place every day, they already know what kind of people live in that area. So we will be having more scope of getting targeted audience. Let's see how it works. Our first step will be contacting and asking dairies across India to tie up with us for the distribution process of ads. And this will help them too, as they will also generate some additional revenue. So we directly contacted the dairies and we got positive responses from big centralized dairies like Mr. Milk, Jiva Milk, Shivaji Milk, and Country Delight. They said they will definitely give it a shot if someone approaches them. Let's say a company approaches us for advertising the product to senior citizens. Our team will design an ad accordingly. Further, the design will go to a plastic bag manufacturing plant where the ads will be printed on plastic bags. After printing, the bags will be transported to the dairies. We will inform the dairies beforehand that this ad campaign is for senior citizens. After the plastic bags reach there, the dairy will hand it over to the milkman and they will deliver the milk packet or box in the plastic bag to their senior citizen customers. So, the question that arises is that why are we using plastic bags? Some companies in India manufacture and print 100% biodegradable plastic bags, which is eco-friendly and water-soluble, and that too at affordable cost. We will tie up with one such company and we'll be using these plastic bags. Now, if we talk about market validation, we did some research and found out that in India, only 10% of total startups succeed every year. Out of those 90% failed startups, around 51% fail only because of not getting appropriate reach to the customers. We even hosted a survey where we asked people that do they need a pocket-friendly yet effective alternative for their present source of advertisement. We received 72 responses from them, and from them, around 93% said yes. This shows that people really need a solution. Now, let's know our customers. We are a B2B model. We don't serve consumers directly, rather we help small businesses to grow so they serve consumers at large scale. If we have to list down our customers, then they are small startups, small scale businesses, and existing businesses which are not growing anymore. Now, it's time to have a look at our marketing strategy. Our first way of marketing is ground level marketing, where our research team will look for small emerging startups and we will reach them directly to offer our services. And we will be also using our advertisement network. The other ways of marketing include webinars, trade shows, and influencer marketing. Now, let's look at our competition, that is newspapers, and see why are we better. Same newspaper is distributed everywhere, so target-specific advertisement is not possible while we provide that service. In a situation like lockdown, newspapers are not distributed and they can be replaced by digital news or news channels. But milk is a necessity, so a business can run in any situation and is never going to be replaced. Moreover, newspaper ads are comparatively more expensive than our ad service. As newspapers are gradually being replaced by digital news, due to this, the reach of newspaper is decreasing day by day. Now, let's see a comparison based on price. Pamphlets cost varies from 3 to 5 rupees per pamphlet depending upon the quality. Newspaper Dainik Bhaskar charges 4.52 rupees per impression for advertisement. The Times of India costs 2.2 rupees and the New Indian Express costs 5.53 rupees per impression. But the ad company only costs 0.5 rupees per impression. Now, let's understand our revenue model and see how we make a profit. Our cost of advertisement is rupees 0.5 per impression. So let's say impressions provided by us in a month is 5 crore. So 2 crore 50 lakh is the price for 5 crore impressions. Now after subtracting the bags and printing costs, that is 1 crore 75 lakh. And the amount that we have to pay to the dairies is 20 lakh. And the transport and miscellaneous expenses is 1 lakh. Finally, the employee salary is 14 lakh. We will still make a profit of 40 lakh rupees a month, that is 16% on every ad campaign. If you want a more detailed explanation of the expenses, we can explain it in the Q&A session. Now, let's see what is the impact of idea on the society and the nation. When businesses will get more reach at low cost, they will grow and get more exposure. If small businesses will grow, a lot of things which we are importing will be manufactured in India, and we will be exporting them. And this will contribute to this will largely contribute towards the national economy. As we are helping many businesses to grow, many job opportunities will be created, and employment will surely increase. So with that, I conclude my presentation, and I sincerely appreciate that I've got this opportunity to present our idea before you all. And I'd like to thank you all for your patient ears. And now we are ready to head to the Q&A session.
Well, team from Greenland Public School, very, very well done.
Thank you, sir.
When Aryan had first asked me, is it okay to put memes in our presentations? I had no idea what it meant, but I must admit, this is one of the most brilliant uses of memes in a presentation that I've ever seen. Your business idea will be judged by the judges, but as far as your meme usage goes, you get a 10 on 10 from me.
Thank you so much, sir.
Over to the judges for the questions, please.
Hi, Pratik, you want to go first?
You can go. No problem. I just have one question. Yeah.
Yeah, no, very, very innovative team. Like I really liked, of course, your presentation was very innovative. No doubt about it. But I like the idea as well. Also, the fact that you did a lot of research and backed it with all the research that you could show. So my one question out of curiosity, what was your pitch? I saw you mailed to Country Delight, and these are very big brands, right? So what was your pitch to them? Like, what did you write to them? Yeah.
Okay, so I was the one who wrote the mails. So I just told them the brief of the idea that we'll be, if in future a company exists like this, who will be distributing the advertisement through your services, then will you be interested in joining us, or will tying with us at a rate of 20%, that we added 20% on every ad campaign. The number of bags you distribute, you have to give us 20. We'll give you 20% of the money. So I told them that we are in a competition like this. So if one day such company approaches you for this, will you be interested in doing that? And as you can see, they wrote them that it's a good business idea. They'll be definitely giving it a shot. That's what we told them. I gave a brief of the idea to them. What was our idea?
Okay. No, very interesting. So just one on your numbers, right? So for you mentioned 5 crore impressions, you are just paying 20 lakhs to the dairies, right? How did that number come?
Okay, sir. So the 20 lakh impression is when our business is stable. That is around 1.5 years or 2 years later. So in starting, we'll not be starting on a large scale, as there is a simple funda that first solve all the problems and then scale. So we'll be solving all the problems in our locality, and then we'll be scaling our business all over India. So later, around 1.5 or 2 years later, we'll be having this much capability of providing 5 lakh impressions. Now 5 crore impressions. Now 5 crore impressions, we have to pay them 20 lakh rupees. 20 lakh is 20%, because they don't have to put any extra effort. They just have to be on the same route where they are going. They just have to put the milk and
but it is 20% of what?
20% of the number of bags they distribute. So here for 5 crores, we are for 5 crores, the number of bags they distribute is 1 crore. Okay. And the impressions are 5 crore, because the bags, these are plastic bags, they will be redistributed, they'll be reshuffled among people. And even in a house, there will be a lot of 2-3 people looking at it. So we calculate the impressions on basis of that, but the bags is 1 crore. So the 1 crore bag, then it's 20%, 20 lakh rupees what we pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Pratik?
So bag is one example. What all marketing material we're going to use? I mean, only just the bags, and we've frozen on this. We're not going to use pamphlets ever, or what is the marketing material options we consider?
Okay, so basically, the bags we'll be distributing will be eco-friendly, as you know. So right now we'll be using the bags only for marketing of different companies, and the bags will be distributed to dairies, and then they will be distributing it. But in future we'll be expanding our the source will be same, the Milkman network. That you can say the delivery source. All the delivery things will get delivery from different companies, different home delivery services from general stores. We'll be expanding to them. We'll be opening some subsidiary companies under our parent company. As you can see, we have a future expansion. We will open some subsidiary companies in our parent company, where we'll be expanding the network. We'll be using this large existing network. Our basic idea is to use the existing networks for advertisement, to not make a new network. So we'll be using other existing network for some different works, like also supplying or urgent delivery of medicines or parcels or some things like that. So right now we'll be doing the marketing with only these plastic bags, but when we'll scale later, then we'll be including other delivery services.
My question was mainly around the marketing material we're going to use.
We'll be using the plastic bags just now. Right now, we'll be using only plastic bags because they are not too costly and they are even eco-friendly. So it will also give a good impact to the customers of the dairy, that they're also getting milk in the eco-friendly packet. So right now we are only sticking to the plastic bags because pamphlets, as you know, are costly. They are, depending on the quality, their rate vary. So they are costly. That's why right now we are only using this one. And it can't be reused too. Pamphlets can't be also reused. People will throw them, but plastic bags are reused. In India, usually people shuffle them among things. Yeah, it will be circulated.
Okay. So, but really impressive, good research, nicely presented, amazing. Very good.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
I'm done with my questions.
Thank you so much, sir. Greenland Public School, very, very well done. Let's see.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let's see what the audience thinks. I am neither scoring you on 100 nor on 20. The judges are now scoring you on 100. The audience will score you on 20. So let's see how they feel about your brilliant print ad plan. Audience, you have the poll on your screen for 90 seconds. About 20 seconds in, I can see that about 60% people have voted. Do put in your polls for this wonderful plan from Greenland Public School, Lucknow. Well, we are at the halfway mark on the time. 70% people have voted. If you are still in the 26% people waiting to vote, I suggest you do so because you are at the last 30 seconds. Twenty seconds to go. The last 5 seconds. And that's time. So I have the judges' scores, I have the audience poll scores, and the teams won't get to see them until all the teams have presented. Thank you so much, Greenland Public School. It is now time for me to call upon the next team today, the Gyanshri School, Noida. The team from Gyanshri, could you please switch on your cameras?
Are we audible, sir?
Yes, we can hear you. So I have Sahitya, Nitya, Keshav, Gaurav, and Adya. Please let me know who would be presenting.
Sahitya.
All right. Let me know when you're ready to start presenting, and I'll start the timer.
Nitya, you can start.
All right. Team from Gyanshri School, Noida, all the best. I'm starting your time for 7 minutes on the clock now.
How often does this happen that the outfit that you are wearing is same as Mr. Stranger walking next to you? And you thought if there could be a dress exclusively tailored and customized for you? Well, if your answer is yes, then Design Destination is the place you should be looking for. We aim to create a platform where the shoppers can get an individualized experience, while at the same time offering the customers the opportunity to be unique, with just the right blend of customized and personalized components. Because we believe in catering to your unique style and helping you be a prototype in the world of apparels and fashion and styling.
Considering the problem statement, in the present scenario, there's a dearth of platforms that promote designs of emerging fashion designers and connect the Indian tailors with e-commerce. Not everyone who wishes to wear designer clothes have access to reputed designers. This facility is somehow not yet widely explored. Let's take an example of Avi, who belongs to LGBTQ+ community, and Shania, who is a college-going girl. They are both passionate about fashion, but struggle to find clothes that match their gender identity and body shape. If we talk about LGBTQs, then more than 2 million such people face the same problem.
So now, what's the solution? The solution is simple: Design Destination. It provides user with a unique experience where they would get an opportunity to get their clothes customized. Apart from men and women appeals, a special section specifically dedicated to LGBTQ+ fashion quotient would be added. Our service would work in 3 phases. Firstly, customers need to visit our website, specify their needs through a community post, which can be seen by tailors and fashion designers if they want to avail customization service. Secondly, designers and tailors will respond as per the needs of consumers. They may also avail the facility to simply choose from the innovative ideas that are already posted by fashion designers or from ready-to-wear section. Once they have selected what suits them best, they may place their order. We also look forward to incorporate a computer-aided 3D model tool as a future growth strategy so that customers can preview digitally and check out what they look like in different clothes.
A recent consumer review by Deloitte reported that 1 in 5 consumers are willing to pay 20% more for a personalized or exclusive product. Not only that, 46% of the consumers say that they are happy to wait longer to get their customized product or service. Keeping this in mind, middle-class, rich, fashion-conscious people are our target customers who want customizations through interactions with their designers and tailors, with multiple personalized touchpoints that enable them to allocate their time and money according to their preferences. When it comes to the marketing strategy, our marketing strategy will include advertising various OTT platforms like Voot, Hotstar, and social video platforms like YouTube. And we'll use word of mouth to encourage customers or prospects to share authentic and engaging marketing messages on our behalf. Hosting online fashion competitions to gather more and more designers and utilizing social media to target the different customers in their micro moments. Tying up with local tailors and negotiating deals with brands that want to add customization to their product lines will be another marketing strategy of ours.
If to talk of competition, then e-commerce sites and apps like Myntra, Amazon, Meesho are the existing competitors of Design Destination. These platforms are known for having high fashion appeal at affordable rates and have already enjoyed wide popularity among users. So now the question arises, why we? Why only Design Destination and not any other? Well, clothes that most of the existing e-commerce sites provides gives you the choice of selecting required outfit and size, but there is no such provision of customization and alteration, and that too at your doorstep. Although ready-made garments are available, but you can't preview them in 3-dimensional designs. Connecting with Design Destination, you can enjoy all these. You don't have to walk from shop to shop or tailor to tailor for alteration or customization. And consumers like Avi and Shania will have their needs fulfilled. And this ability to customize or personalize the online shopping experience will serve as our USP.
A good business is one which gives returns to us. After research, we found that on an average, a person spends 2,000 rupees per order on clothes. We will charge 15% as service commission, and the rest will go directly to the fashion designer and tailor. If we manage to achieve footfall of 1.5 lakhs through advertising and fashion host competition, then we will earn an estimation of rupees 4.5 crore as revenue from operation from our business. We will distribute this revenue among sales and marketing, technology development, and customer services in general. Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." So here we are, a team of ignited minds to carry out the various operations of our business.
Last but not the least, our idea is going to have tremendous effect in the society. It will not only promote equality of services to all genders and will generate employment, but will also serve as motivation for emerging fashion designers and tailors. And customers will receive services that are targeted not at just customers like them, but at them as individuals with products, offers, and ideas that are uniquely relevant to them. Before finishing it off, let's have a look to our promo. We are are also doing our bit to raise social awareness and acceptance to design destination. Come, join us in this endeavor of ours. Thank you. We are open for the queries now.
Gantry School Noida, very, very well done. Wonderful presentation. Shows your design aesthetics really, really well. Over to the judges for the questions, sirs.
Yeah, so good idea, pretty relevant to these days, and the kind of creativity and the kind of need for customization we feel. We want to feel good, and this definitely gives that opportunity to us. But I see, so while I see a very good business idea in this, in terms of acceptability, in terms of potential, but there are execution related queries I have. One is, are we going to keep the central production centralized? Because what you said is decentralizing it rather. So if the production is decentralized, how are we going to keep a check on the quality of it, the production? Because there is a tailor in, say, Bhopal. I'm from Bhopal, so so I uploaded one design there, and you gave that order to a tailor in Bhopal, but he messed up. So end of the day, your quality, your feedback, your reputation is on stake. How do you standardize that? My question number one.
So first of all, we'll enter in a legal contact with the designers and the tailors. And second, you can actually see on our platform that an experienced tailor or a new fashion designer you want to order from. You can also avail the facility to check their review and previous orders facilities that are provided by them.
Okay.
And sir, as far as centralization is concerned, we are not going to be in a manufacturing or production unit. We are just providing a platform where we will connect all the designers and tailors. It's a B2C platform.
I agree, but end of the day, I know design destination, not the tailor, right? So keeping the quality intact, the service quality, that's your responsibility, right? So yeah, I mean, review, keeping the reviews on for it, and star rating for these service providers. Yes. I think that's a good idea. If I have a complex design and my image quality is not good, okay, what kind of a solution do I have?
So we are providing them 3D model tool, first of all, so the customers can view them in 3D, and then the production, the pictures that are be taken by you would be directly sent to the customer. So if their picture quality is not good, we could provide you with the cameras and all the studios, so you can actually click the pictures and provide the customers with the same solution. And the customer that wanted to customize their clothes can actually ask you directly the questions like what size of the size you want and what stitching pattern you want in their clothes.
If you see the corporate platform, they're exactly doing the same thing, like t-shirts and branding material. So there the designs are simple, but here it is like a tattoo, which can be a complex design. And if the image quality which the customer is uploading to the platform, not necessary that it is of a very good quality. So I'm sure there are challenges around it. How would you tackle to that?
So first of all, we are not assigning a customized person to a tailor or a fashion designer. Let's take an example of mine. If I upload, if I want a wearing dress or I want a kurta and pajama, I will demand on it on my platform Design Destination. There, the fashion designer and tailors can review my comment and post their ideas in the comment section, where they could actually from there I could actually see what are the different fashion trends that are really going on, and one of them which suits me the best, I can order it. And if the problem is about the picture quality, we can provide them with the studio, as we are already providing them with the 3D model tool.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. No, great. I concur with Prateek that this is like timing wise. I think it's a great business model, and I also saw that your business model is well thought out, right from your insights and the needs side of things. We are also looking at a target population which is going from a middle class to an aspirational class. So these kind of a value proposition I think is very relevant. So congratulations on, and perhaps you could actually pursue this as a business idea maybe in the future. Just extending this, like what Prateek asked, right? I also had the similar question on quality, but even further extending that, right? So who's taking care of logistics in your business model? Like, is the tailor and also the understanding like if you give an order to a tailor, will you get the product at your central facility and then ship it, or it is directly getting shipped from the tailor?
So as far as the shipment is considered, the companies like Blue Dart and all these delivery are concerned with the shipment. So we'll tie with them, and so the shipment will be done. The orders will be picked from the tailor's house, and it will be delivered to your doorstep.
Customer. Okay.
We will outsource this. So we will outsource the shipment.
Will outsource. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. So I think you are more focusing on the customization part and the user experience part of the online shopping, but the same concerns will apply. But again, the same things is happening in the case of Myntra, where people are buying, so that is getting validated. But again, the advantage of things of Myntra and all the returns and all those things are well established. In customization in a decentralized way, that that problem becomes even more complex, right? And especially you're dealing with tailors maybe who are still who might not be dealing with so many returns and all with from unknown customers. So how will you manage this situation, like where the customer expectation is they want a return cycle of like 10 days, 15 days and all of that, and they can opt for returns as well, right?
So firstly, our service will be divided into two sections. Firstly will be the customization process, and we also give the customers this offer to simply choose from the ready-to-wear section that is already being posted by the fashion designers and tailors. Apart from this, if to talk of customization, then we will enter into a legal contract with tailors and fashion designers for them to deliver the costume within a stipulated time. And as far as the customers are concerned, then we will ask for a prepayment because we are customizing the clothes. So prepayment will be done.
No, that's fine. But if they are, so you're saying the customer has no option to return the clothes?
Yeah, for the customized clothes, we are already giving them this opportunity to see them in the 3D design option, so they can preview digitally what they look like in the cloth that they are ordering or customizing. So
okay.
And sir, adding on to it, I wanted to say that every step taken by fashion designer to customize your clothes or the stitching pattern and all, when seeing the different clothes pattern that you want to choose, they were asked by customers. So there would be no issue of returning. First of all, if there is a return issue, we will not will try to provide it to the customers.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I think that was so from your financials, you only for this business model, you need 15 lakhs. That's what your that's what your business plan was saying, that the first year you are incurring a loss, right?
Yeah.
So if you get 15 lakhs, you'll be able to pull this off?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Sir, 15 lakhs, sir, is not our financial. It's a loss that we are incurring. The funding would be different process. If you want to see the funding, you can visit our site. And the fundings would be concerned with the Adyashi, our Chief Financing Officer. And second of all, these are revenue that are been in millions. And if we have researched it on the customer basis and Google Forms, that the average consumer wants to spend on online shopping platform is 2,000.
Yeah, that I understood. Okay. No, yeah, something a net loss is 15 lakhs. Maybe the funding is slightly higher, but that's
let's be honest with you. Every startup from the starting of the year, it cannot earn profits like in big numbers and all. And if it earns profit, it might be some support of celebrity and all. But we are not looking forward to that. We are reaching break-even point at 2025 at 50 lakh rupees profit.
Okay, very good. Congratulations, this is great. Yeah, I hope you guys get after you guys have finished your studies, you should try this. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not sure whether they should wait to complete these studies. I think I would, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, why not? All the famous entrepreneurs are school dropouts after all. Yeah.
This is the last thing that we want to get blamed for. Getting a school event to inspire people to drop out of school. But
actually, I wanted to put that disclaimer that Srikanth was not suggesting to for the dropout.
But yes, very, very good idea and a fantastic presentation. Thank you team from Gyanshri Noida. I think brilliantly done. And the way Srikanth was asking questions about the 15 lakhs, I think you have a very, very potential investor right here. Do follow up on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the team from Gyanshri School Noida. You will now have a poll on your screens where you can rate their performance out of 20. You have 90 seconds to vote for the school. You can rate them 5 on 20, 10 on 20, 15 on 20, or 20 on 20. In the meantime, if the judges could please put in their scores on the scoring sheets. Well, we are 32 seconds in and 86% of people have voted. Not just fashion, clearly publicity is also a strong suit for team from Gyan Shri School, Noida. About halfway in, 90% of votes also in. Twenty more seconds. Just about 8 or 9 people left to vote. Would love to see everybody vote. How do you feel? 5, 10, 15 or 20 on 20, but do have your say. And that's time. All right, so I have the judges scores. I have the audience poll scores. Great. It is now time to bring on the third and final school for today, Wisdom Global School, Haridwar. Would the team please switch on your cameras? Let me stop my share. I have Riti, I have Vishi, I have Akriti. You have one more person in your team, right?
So we're 3.
3 of you? All right, fantastic. Please let me know when you're ready to share.
Yes, sir, I'm ready to share.
Could you please share your screen?
Is it visible now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes,
Are you ready to start?
Yes, sir.
All right. Team from Wisdom Global School, Haridwar, all the best. Your time for 7 minutes on the clock starts now.
Good evening to the respected jury and the wonderful audience here. I am Vishi Sachdeva with my 2 business partners, Akriti Gupta and Riti Pant from the Wisdom Global School. And we are here to propose a business plan that is Renew Electronica. And we, the team of Renew Electronica, wants to thank Notebook for giving us this amazing opportunity from which we learned so much. And now I would like to call my partner, Akriti, to continue.
Thanks, Vishi. Well, now let's have a look to our problem that we are facing. It is true that India hardly produces enough energy to fulfill its domestic demand. According to Ministry of Power, 20% of electricity is wasting due to technical and commercial reasons. If we talk about Indian rural development, there are approximately 78 million people do not have access to electricity. Another major problem is about unemployment, a situation in which people are willing to do work but do not get ample opportunity to prove themselves. Second is fossil fuel. Fossil fuel are limited resources and non-renewable resources. That is why it cannot be sustainable for our future generation. So how will we solve these problems? Well, the simple solution to these problems are biomass. Biomass is basically refers to the mass of living organisms, such as plants and animals, that can be used to produce electricity. Basically, now we look about what we aim at, including these inputs such as agriculture residue, sewage, garbage, crop, etc. as our raw material and producing electricity as output, we can easily overcome lack of electricity in cost-effective manner. Well, this entire process will require large number of manpower, So we will committed to provide employment to those people who are residing in remote areas and giving them wages. On the other hand, instead of using fossil fuel, we are using renewable resources for production of electricity, resulting in fossil fuel will be sustainable. Over to you, Vishy.
Thank you, Akriti. Well, we definitely know that you guys must be having a question that how are we going to pull it off? Well, the process is not that complex. At least that's how we have convinced ourselves and are going to convince you. Well, the process is like I just said, isn't very complex. At first, we will store the biomass. The stored biomass then will go into the hot water boiler from where the excess amount of fuel gas in the minimum amount, I might add, is emitted out and the burning ash is received as a residue. From there, the biomass moves towards the turbine in which it is continuously heated and rotated. And all of this work is done with the help of a generator. So the output that we receive is the power that we require. And I guess that is not as complex as we think it is. The competition. Let us just agree that wherever we go, competition is going to follow us. So we also have many, like the existing companies, like SJVN Limited and JSW Energy Limited. They are the hydropower plants, and I know they're doing well in their own fields, but we want to do better. Because this type of electricity can cause an impact on the environment and can hurt the aquatic surroundings of the area, can cause droughts, etc. Torrent power plant is also another competition that we have, and which is coal-based and gas-based, another harming environment. And it harms excessively. Our solution is to reduce this fuel consumption and not to increase it. Now also we have is Adani Green Energy, and we're in the same field since we also want to achieve the green energy. But of course, we cannot compete with such a huge company at an initial level. But I promise that with our efforts, we will definitely give our 100% to achieve and outwin them. Next is the NTPC Limited. It is a thermal power plant, a heat power plant, or you can say. This produces large amounts of smokes and fumes affecting atmosphere. Maintenance cost is so high and efficiency is also low. So we want to help the community. So that is why we're going for the biomass. Next is the revenue. We here think that we should get the funds through different sponsors, or it will be open to the public funding to the general people and the different investors as they like. And we ourselves will be putting in some of the capital investment. People who are kind enough, we will be accepting them as the revenue that we require for this. Next is the marketing strategy. Well, since we're working in the rural areas, so there are a lot of local radios. We're well aware of that, not all people are literate. So we'll be using the local radios for announcements. We'll be using the banners on shops in different places. And the word of mouth of like the milkman and the newspaper man will be our prime factor here, since everybody uses the newspapers and the milks in their daily life. So yet, this is our like small strategy, but we're open to many suggestions. So over to you, Akriti.
Yes, we are required the coordination of our team members that include first, board of directors, second, journal manager, third, public relation manager, fourth, project in charge, fifth, field manager, and last is manpower. Now, what are the social impacts? Biomass is a renewable source of energy and cannot be depleted. Fossil fuel will be sustainable for our future generation, and it helps to reduce global warming and climate change as it releases less amount of GHG gases such as carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Including in this business will open many startup plans for us like organic farming, which we will explore on the later stage. We hope that you loved our business plan and would like to invest in it. Thank you so much for giving us such an opportunity to present our business plan. We are open for your questions.
Well, team from Wisdom Global School Haridwar, well done. Particularly on the timing. Any guesses at what time you finished? It was at 6 minutes 59 seconds. Very well done. Given that the Olympics are on, timing is incredibly important on everybody's mind right now. The judges, please, over to you for the questions.
Sri, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I had one question on how are you looking to I'm assuming these are biomass plants, right? So one question: what capacity? Do you know what capacity these plants are? At what scale are you looking to deploy this? And how are you then sourcing the biomass?
Sorry, so can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so do you have an idea? So you showed me the schematic of the various steps. So what capacity are they, like biomass plants at a at a home level, or is it at a community level? Is it at a city level? What capacity these are, if you have any benchmark or capacity in terms of volume? And
Well,
second is, how are you sourcing the biomass? The biomass has to be sourced from various sources, right? Like you said, plant and animal matter. So what is the strategy for that?
yes, sir. So we'll be starting at a very small, like a home level, just you said. We'll be
Okay.
starting at the small level, just in small area providing. And when we will see that our business is going a little well, we'll start increasing it.
Okay.
Like, yes, sir. And of the source, we will be taking the source from the rural areas, like from the agricultural sector. Many of the agricultural sector have these kinds of residues. So we'll be paying them cost for it, and we'll be taking and using it.
Okay. And have you done the economics of that unit modeling of the economics, like what is the cost of the raw material, the production, and how will you measure? Will you sell the electricity, or will you? So have you thought about that or not yet? You guys are deciding on who will answer? Or maybe
So we don't thought yet about economic.
No, sir, I think my net is a little weaker.
Sure, no worries. So you are yet to put like the business model around how the pricing and all of that will work, right? But this is as of now, it is an idea that you are presenting, right? Okay, fair enough. No, good idea. Of course, there have been many variants of it. Again, one question I also had was you in your diagram, you're still emitting fossil fuel. You're burning biomass to emit the fuel, right? So that I didn't
So we're
get.
trying to minimize it. It's not easy to just cut it out of the situation. We're trying to minimize it.
Right. But there are other means. Maybe if you are interested in the sector, Google a term called anaerobic digestion. So basically, it doesn't really burn the thing, but still kind of changes it into some kind of a biogas or a fuel, which can then be used for various purposes. But yeah, do Google that. But I still admire the fact that you guys did so much of research and could think of this idea. And we really hope that we'll be living in a renewable energy period in the coming decades with people like you. So congratulations, and yeah, over to you, Pratik.
Yeah, so my thoughts are also around the points which Shrikant raised. So there are two sides to it. One is generating electricity out of it. Second is taking care of the problem of biomass. So let me start with the problem of biomass, because I come from organic farming background, and farming in general has this problem where the harvesters, combined harvesters, they generate a lot of biomass. I mean, if we consider old methods of agriculture vis-a-vis the new combined harvester, they generate a lot of biomass, and they keep that on the farm. And a farmer, it becomes tough to manage that biomass. So if we could do something around it, it would be really great. So burning that and generating electricity, is that suggested, or what Shrikant just said probably converting that into some kind of a petroleum product. I would recommend that because that has better efficiency than burning that. So decide on which side of the problem you want to cater. I mean, you want to generate energy out of it in terms of electricity, or which is a bigger problem for you. So you need to identify that, and probably you'll have a much better idea around it. Second, we would, like Shrikant said, I would have loved to see numbers around it, because the numbers were missing. I would still consider this as idea and not a business plan. So good thought. It requires fresh brains like you for alternate thought process, and the problem is so huge. One or two or three types of solution will not work. There are so many types of different types of usage to it, and completely out of the box thought process is still required, because the ministry is trying for at least 8-10 years to find a solution to this problem, but they're still far from reaching to a conclusion. So good that you guys have thought about it, take it forward, but lot of homework need to be done, and it is a very capital intensive kind of a business. It requires a lot of volume. I mean, you cannot have a small plant around it, right? So it is going to be a big facility, unless otherwise you will not be able to generate efficiency into this kind of a system. So once you are preparing your first model, probably you'll have much better understanding of that. So go ahead. It has a bright future, but you need to put a lot of effort into it for sure. It would require a greater amount of dedication and your side of commitment into it. Good luck.
And all of you are in Haridwar, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
do you also face the smog that Delhi faces during like Diwali time?
The problem, yes, sir.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole North India. So I mean, that is an opportunity. Why do you know why the smog basically comes? It basically because of burning agriculture residues in Punjab and Haryana, and that impacts the whole north region during that phase where air quality goes for a toss.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, this is an opportunity. It's a problem, but it's an opportunity, and you guys should view it as an opportunity. So good luck to all of you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Team from Wisdom Global School, Haridwar, very well done. Especially kudos for the green thinking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now your time to score the team while the judges are putting their scores into the score sheets. You have the poll on your screen. Please rate the team's performance out of 20. You can give them 5, 10, 15, or 20 on 20. As for the team from Wisdom Global School, Haridwar, here's an interesting thought, right? I went to school donkeys years ago. When I was in school, dinosaurs were playing outside. But back then, there were chapters on energy that would say there are renewable sources of energy and non-renewable sources of energy, and the world was waking up to how pollution was very real and a problem, right? And you had wind energy listed on one of those chapters, which said windmills are typically found in Holland. And today, if you drive across parts of southern Karnataka, you would find large fields of windmill setup. So what's a bit of a fantasy thought today takes just a little bit of time for it to become absolute stark reality. So keep at it. Green energy is something we need as much of it as we can get. Well, I can see the polls are coming in. About 20 more seconds left, and 90% of people have voted. Just about 10 more seconds to go. And that's time. Well, audience, thank you so much for putting in the votes. Team from Wisdom Global School, Haridwar, congratulations and thank you for sharing your idea with us. I hope the judges have put in the scores into the scoring sheets. Yes, I can see both the scores. I would now like to invite the judges back because you've seen 3 wonderful presentations, and we would love to hear your overall thoughts about the way you saw the thought process going today. Mr. Sharma, if you may start with you.
Yeah. So I think I'm really pleased with the kind of, especially the first 2 schools presentations. Good amount of research, I was very happy seeing these kids doing number crunching and putting revenue in place. I mean, the complete thought process, completing the circle, because business is not just about the idea, it is about execution. In execution, there are multiple sides to it, right? You have customer communication, you have the people who are going to fulfill the consumer orders, logistics, and there are so many things. So happy that you actually thought about many aspects of it. So way to go. Do not stop. If you believe that the idea can be implemented now, do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait for your education to complete or anything. If you believe that this is the time and you're ready, do it. Go for it.
Great. Yeah. I think if your conviction is strong, nothing can stop you, I think. So yeah, if you think the idea is unique, and one thing I really liked, just adding to what Pratik mentioned, is each of the team really went after very, very deep insights. That is one of the things I have seen. Even well-funded companies, sometimes they don't take care of it, right? So unless you get deep insights, and get to the customer problem, you might not be able to develop something of value to that particular stakeholder, right? So all the examples that I saw, be it the fashion example or the energy, so you all went into the problem statement very deeply. I felt you did a lot of research, like again Pratik mentioned. So I think insights and understanding the customer is actually the first step. Forget about funding and solution, everything. If you know the problem well, half the battle is won in some sense. That is what people say, because good models, good business models emerge only of robust understanding of the customer. So I really like the fact that, again, this is the point I made yesterday as well, at such young age you could actually think of such ideas which are very, very grounded with the insights and the problems that you have identified. So kudos to you and your mentors or whoever have helped you as well. And yeah, like Pratik mentioned, I hope to see all of you as budding entrepreneurs. There is no dearth of funding or support in these times. There are dearth of good entrepreneurs. So I hope good teams and good. I could sense a good camaraderie between all of you in showing that you are a team. It's a team effort as well, and great teams build great businesses. So congratulations on all that you've achieved so far, and I hope your journey is just beginning. And if you at all need any help in the future with regard to startup, feel free to reach out to any of us, especially me. I'm very happy to help you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Big thank you to both the judges for sparing your time and being here. Both Mr. Sharma and Mr. Prabhu have spared their times earlier, and I sincerely hope that the brilliant ideas that the kids have put forth have made it absolutely worth their time. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I tell you the scores, a little bit about Notebook. As I said, we at Notebook try and make your lives easier by creating content that is tailored to your school curriculum. What this means is every class, every subject, every topic, you would find a series of videos on the Notebook website or app. And these videos almost make it look like a Netflix of education. I'm going to play you some short clips of various Notebook videos so that you know exactly what it is that I'm going on and on about.
नमस्ते बच्चों, नोटबुक में आपका स्वागत है। इस नए वीडियो को आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करते हुए हमें बेहद खुशी हो रही है। हमारा उद्देश्य है परंपरागत शिक्षा को आधुनिक तरीके से पेश करना, ताकि हमारी ये नई पीढ़ी या आप सभी कहीं भी कभी भी इसे आसानी से पढ़ सकें।
Hello students, today we are going to study the story Madam Rides the Bus, written by Valli.
The king, Louis XVI, had come to power in 1774 at only 20 years of age. The king helped the 13 American colonies gain independence from Britain.
Curly brown hair turning permanently black. If you memorize this line, it will help you remember the ratios all your life. How? Let's see. Some people have is a way of remembering sine is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. Provides energy for everything you do throughout the day. Next, is the nucleus, the brain of the cell. This is where all the secrets are stored. Why do you think you have black eyes as your parents? Aha! Thank the nucleus.
Whoa, what is this? We are gonna drown.
Don't worry, you're not going to drown. This is the cytoplasm.
Sometimes, a fully grown individual, such as hydra or planaria or starfish, can give rise to a complete individual from its body parts. Isn't this interesting?
नोटबुक में आप सभी का पुनः स्वागत है।
So that's what videos from Notebook look like. And to tell you about his views of the presentation that he saw today, let me now invite Achin Bhattacharya. Achin is the founder and CEO at Notebook. A chartered accountant by training, Achin was a director at Deloitte prior to starting Notebook. Achin, over to you.
Really wonderful session. Like to congratulate our young friends here, Wisdom Global School, Greenland Public School, and Ganeshri School. I think really, really wonderful. Some great innovative concepts, great teamwork, which is very important, good quality of presentation. Undoubtedly, not only you had good clarity of thought, but you also presented it very well. Considering your age, where you are, undoubtedly, it's wonderful. You thought through, the entire thing. Also, would like to thank our knowledge partners, IMCIP, and our esteemed judges, both Mr. Pratik Sharma and Shrikant Prabhu. I think some very nice thought-provoking questions. And I saw that they were continuously in between all those questions, I could understand so much of advice, mentorship coming in, which is the best part, these takeaways. So friends, few thoughts that I would like to leave you with. I think the first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you are not going to stay where you are, right? So the whole aspect of daring to dream big, the whole aspect of ensuring that, yes, this entire passion for entrepreneurship, I think Shrikant mentioned it very beautifully. The whole aspect of funding and those crazy valuations, I guess all those are secondary. We of course, in a startup world, when you think of your own venture, terms like unicorn, etc., instantly they catch your attention. But I think most important is that passion for entrepreneurship. Do you really identify a problem, and do you feel that, yes, you can feel the pulse of the customer, of your would-be consumer? If you understand his pain point, if you exactly know what he wants, and you are flexible, you're willing to unlearn, I think that is your biggest asset. Some great, wonderful thoughts that I wanted to share with you. I remember a quote by Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group, and very beautifully summed up. He once said, "You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and falling over." So the whole aspect of daring to dream big, of course, it will come with its own share of challenges. And I think also, as very appropriately articulated by Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz, who said, "Risk more than others think is safe. Dream more than others think is practical." So I guess having that kind of zeal, urge that, yes, this is what I want to do. And the whole aspect of organizing this session is to connect pockets of excellence, is to nurture this entire culture, passion for entrepreneurship. And some great words of advice, mentorship coming in from my esteemed judges. Because I always believe that the fastest way to change yourself is to indeed hang out with people who are already the way you want to be. That of course helps. So I think some great session, and I'm very happy with what I saw today. It gives me really great confidence, because I'm sure the next set of great ideas are going to come from students like you. Really, really wonderful. I thank the esteemed principals for supporting your endeavor. And of course, I'm sure you made your parents and teachers very, very proud of your performance. Winning, losing, how much you're scoring on a given day, that's one part. But to me, all of you today are champions. You go back as winners for having the confidence to come and present your ideas in front of the world in an open forum, having the courage and conviction to face questions and come up with answers. And then again, there's nothing called right or wrong. The most important thing is that you believe in it, you have thought through it. And on your part, you have the courage and conviction to back up your plan, to support your plan. You know, that to me is the biggest takeaway. So really wonderful session. Over to you, Shubhayu.
Thank you, Vachin. Thank you for your words of encouragement. But this is the bit that I'm sure all three teams are waiting for. And boy, is it special today. Greenland School, a high 79 from the judges and 14 from the audience. Gyanshri School, Noida, 86 from the judges and 16 from the audience. Wisdom Global School, Haridwar, 61 from the judges and 9 from the audience. Which means for the first time we have breached the 3-digit mark. Greenland finishes at 93, near the top of the leaderboard. But Gyanshri School, Noida, at 102, you sit on the top of the leaderboard as it stands today. Remember, there are still 6 more qualifiers after this, and things could change drastically. But for now, you are at the top of the hill. Wisdom Global School at 70, you are still part of the top 24, so do not lose heart. Let's see how things unfold over the next few days. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an exciting evening, and I, for one, am tremendously impressed with the kind of thoughts and ideas we have heard today. Once again, thank you for being part of this session. I shall see you next on Thursday at our next Ignite qualifier. Until then, please take care and goodbye.